Hi, this is Becky Romine, and I'm going to do a symbol-based student transition interview for you. It's basically an interest inventory, which is something that we do with our students to find out what the student likes, what the student's interested in, what the student wants to do. And this specifically talks about what the student wants to do once he or she transitions out of high school. So the first page of the interview is just their name and their date. The first slide, or the first part of the interview, asks, what things do you like at school? And I will be attaching a summary sheet that goes with this, and you can just check them off as you go. It has all of these questions on here and the answers. When I'm doing it, I have the kids look at these pictures and I have them circle the ones that they're interested in. In your situation, you could have them point to the ones if they're looking at the screen. So they're going to look at them and say, math, do you like numbers? Do you like counting money? Sports. Obviously, the balls are going to help them indicate that, oh, playing with balls is like sports. Science, computers, writing, reading, lunch, work, art, music. All of these have pictures, and those pictures help your student know what you're talking about. A lot of these kids understand the words that I'm saying. It's pretty easy. And then you're just going to check the ones that they say they like. What do you want to do after you are done with high school? There's going to be the choices of college classes, trade school, work, day program, on-the-job training, internship. Most of the kids, when they hear work, that's what they'll say, or day program, because they've heard that they might go to a day program after school's over. What would you like to work with? This is basically asking, do you want to work with animals, computers, cleaning supplies, food, cars, papers, plants, laundry, people, art, music, machinery? A lot of these, they'll say they like them all, but then we'll try an activity with one of them, and just based on their reaction or how long they stay interested in the activity, you can actually determine if they really like it. A lot of times I'll have students say that they like to work with animals, and then they work with animals and realize they smell, and then they don't want to work with them. So if your student has chosen a bunch of them and you're not sure, go ahead and try an activity with some of those materials and see how they react and whether they'd really, really, really like it. Where would you like to work? And I go through all of these, and sometimes I give specific examples. Like restaurant, I'd say Wendy's or McDonald's. A store, always use Walmart or Dollar General. Factory, those are kind of more difficult, but there are some factories around, and maybe some better than I do. Grocery store, farm, office, greenhouse, hospital. You just explain a little more about what that means. Greenhouse, for instance, is working with plants. Where would you like to work? In the community, at home, in a workshop? And most of those kids know about the sheltered workshop, and I believe that's what this is referring to. So do they want to work just out in the community? Do they want to work at home, or do they want to work in the sheltered workshop? Do you like to work alone or with lots of people? This is important because if you've got a student that doesn't like a lot of noise, they don't want to probably work around a lot of people. What would you like to work with? And this is kind of similar to the other question where you're asking them, do you want to work with animals, computers, cleaning supplies, food, cars, papers, plants, laundry, people, art, music, machinery? When we work with your students at school, we're trying to bring in things so that they can learn how to work with each of these things, and we can get a better idea. Do the students really like working with these materials? And you can do that at home too. Do you like to work fast or slow? A lot of jobs require working fast, and some jobs it's okay if you go slowly. You can help your student determine which one they like the best. Do you like to work where it's clean or messy? Some students are very particular about their work environment, and that could be important because if they don't like messy, they don't want to work somewhere where it's messy. What do you want to wear to work? Another important question, because if they have to wear a uniform to work the job that they get and they don't like it, then that's not going to work out. Do they want normal clothes or do they like to be dressed up? A lot of us don't like to be dressed up, especially the whole day. So anyway, it's a good question to ask. Do you want to work inside or outside? Very important, because that helps us narrow the choices of jobs that we introduce them to. If they don't want to work inside, then I'm not going to try to get them an office job. I'm going to work on getting them something that works outside. Do you want to work the week or on the weekend? That's kind of a tougher question. Usually that is more based on what a family's used to doing. But you can always just ask and see what they say. Do you want to work in morning, afternoon, or night? Another way to look at this is, do they have trouble waking up in the morning? Do they kind of struggle to get going? Or are they sleepy at night? You know, just those kinds. Some people are night owls. Sometimes that works for them. Where do you want to live? Do you want to live in a house, an apartment, or a group home? It might be a good idea to take your student around to show them. If you live in a house, obviously they know what that is, but show them what an apartment's like, show them what a group home is like, so they get an idea of what their options are when they graduate. Who do you want to live with? With family, with friends, alone, with help? Good question to ask, because your student needs to know, do they need support? Do they need help? What can you do by yourself? Can you get dressed, make food? Can you take a shower, brush teeth, clean the house, do laundry, get groceries, administer first aid? These are all really good questions, and you probably know some of the answers, but it's really good to ask your student and just see what their feeling is about their confidence level with those activities. How will you get around in the community? Will you drive? Will you ride with somebody? Will you take public transportation? Will you walk? Or will you ride a bike? These are all really important things, especially where we live, because we don't have public transportation in this region very much. And if the student doesn't drive, they need to figure out how they're going to get from home to work. Sometimes it could be walking or riding a bike if it's safe. Where do you like going in the community? Do you like going to stores, church, restaurants, the movie theater, library, the park, mall, bowling alley, zoo, museums, carnival, grocery store? See which one they picked? Look at those pictures. Yay. And then when you're finished, you're going to have the summary all filled out, and you should get a better idea of what your student wants when they graduate, what they want to do, what they like, and where they want to live.